today I'm going to be going over some projects that you could put on your resume. Those are just 3 projects actually, and these projects are not very complex. They're very doable. I'll have the code in the description if anybody wants to take a look at it and maybe replicate it. And if you do so, maybe send me a copy. I'd like to see it, just because it was kind of fun working on these projects, and it'd be fun to be able to see what other things people could do with these projects, or the different ways people could change up these projects. If you're still in school and you haven't gotten any experience working in software development, you don't have anything to show unless you have projects on your resume. Now, if you don't have any sort of experience and you don't have projects, chances of your resume getting looked at and you getting a call for an interview are slim to none. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the first project here, which is just a snake game. So this game was a way for me to kind of play around with the Swing library and making GUIs, not only just sit there, but making GUIs that do different things. So I decided to take on this snake project. It took me about a week. I got stuck on this one part, and it just took a very long time, and then it ended up taking me a week to finish this game. And here's a little demo of the game. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and run this game here. So the first thing that pops up is this menu where it asks you to either play a game or view high score. So I'm just gonna play a game. Okay, so here I'm just gonna name myself Lou, and then I'm gonna press OK. Okay, so here's the board. As you could see, the snake is just a single dot, and then the food is just this green dot right here. I thought about putting a grid here, but it'd be easier having a grid. Easier as in like easier to play. So I just figured just leave it as it is. And the game itself isn't that hard anyways. So I figured just skip the grid portion. So first thing that I'm gonna do is, as soon as I move, I'm gonna make sure I click on the screen. So let me move this off. So as soon as I move, snake starts moving, and then I could go around and chase for the food. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna press the space bar to pause. Just move out the way here so you can see it. Okay, so I've used the space bar because it's more convenient. If the snake gets kind of big, you don't want to have to go all the way over here to press pause, right? So I've implemented the space bar to pause, as well as this button right here to pause and resume. Okay, so notice how my name is kept here, and the score is how many times I've eaten this green stuff right here. And the green stuff is random every time it gets placed on the board, and it doesn't get placed on the snake. It knows where the snake is, it doesn't get placed anywhere on the snake. So that's the snake game real quick. I could exit the program completely. I could reset where the green dot gets another location, and the snake gets set to where it started, and then I could just start a new game. And then I could also go back to the main menu. So I'm gonna reset first, and that's what happens. And then the score also resets. I'm gonna go back to the main menu so you can see what that is. All right, so that's it for the snake game. Now let's move on to the next thing here. So the next project is a chat application. in this application, you need a server and a client to be able to send messages back and forth. This application was also done with a GUI, as you could see, with all the GUI libraries, the swing, the auto event. But this wasn't really about making another GUI project. It was more about working with transferring data from one place to another. So I'm gonna go ahead and run the server first. Alright, so as you notice with this server box, nobody's connected to it yet. So there's no client to be able to transfer data back and forth or be able to speak or chat back and forth, right? So it's still waiting for some sort of a connection. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click on client, but I'm gonna bring this back up just so you see what happens when the client is online. I'm gonna run client. Okay, before I start my client, it needs to know who I am. Again, I'm gonna use Lou. Okay, as you could see, you're not connected to client. Same thing with the client, you're not connected basically to the server. So I'm gonna go ahead and write something here. Hi Lou, and you could see it sends over with my name. One thing I forgot to mention about the chat application is that it's able to send data to different computers. I know that you see that it's on the same computer and it's just going back and forth, but it is able to send, let's say you wanted to chat with your friend has the client, you have the server, you run your server, your friend runs the client, for as long as your friend has your IP address and you guys are on the same port. So there's a one of the parameters for creating a socket is a port number, and we make sure that these are the same in both of the programs. Then you can send a message to your friend on the application. Alright, so the third and last project is actually a graph project. So this maze project took some time to get done. It took more time than any of the two prior projects, just because there's a lot more to learn from the maze project. And I did this project as a way to help me study graphs for my interviews. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this project. Alright, so this project is like a maze game, but for me this project started as a way to learn about graphs and be able to visually see some of the things that a graph could do. So one of the first things I have here is this is a start point, and you probably can't see it. I'm going to take this off, and this is an end point. So if I just run, let's say if I run this algorithm, it's just supposed to look for a path from green to the yellow, but that's kind of boring. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna generate a maze. Okay, now that the maze is done, I'm just gonna run one of the algorithms to find a path. breadth first search will find the shortest path to the point, and depth first search will just find a path to the point. I'm going to find the best path first. Okay, and now I'm going to find, I'm going to use depth first search to find a path. And notice the necessary route it's taking just to get to the point, where breadth first search just gives you the best or the shortest path. So I'm gonna clear the board here. Okay, so I could go ahead and move this point to wherever I want, and I could go ahead and move this point to wherever I want. And if I generate a maze, the maze won't go over the points. And also the point will avoid the red, basically the walls. Alright, so these are the 3 projects. Please feel free to use them. I'll put the link to the GitHub repos in the description if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. Alright, so that's all for that. Yeah, till the next video.